Hi everyone, welcome to another Conversations with Michelle and Stacy. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Michelle.
Hi Michelle, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Michelle, what do you want to talk about today?
Let's talk about love, baby.
That's right. Let's talk about love. That's exciting.
It is.
Right?
What are your plans for today?
Okay, what are my plans for today? Listen, you putting me on the spot.
That early, right?
Yes, listen, in lieu of the season and the celebrations, I am definitely going to spend some time listening to my favorite love songs, which I've already started actually. I'm
Celine
not
Dion,
going
one
to
of them.
say what?
Is Celine Dion one of the artists?
She is Michelle. You cannot do.
Remember our days of listening to Celine Dion, singing Celine Dion to each other?
Listen, a day like today, the power of love. If walls could talk,
I
you,
know.
you can't do romance without Celine Dion.
You can't. You can't. I love me some Celine Dion. My baby shower, when I walked in the room, it was to Celine A New Day,
Mhm.
remember?
I made sure that song was playing, right? New day has come. That was fun. I remember.
Yes.
No, but seriously, let's talk about love, Michelle. I
Oh,
mean, love is such a big one. It has so many different
it
meanings.
does.
It's like so many different seasons, and
Yeah.
how it can, how you can have that experience within that season, whether you're single, unmarried, or a married woman like Miss Michelle, Mrs. Exactly. So, what am I going to do today? Just really enjoy the day, enjoy where I am right now, enjoy my girls, enjoy friendships, new relationships, just taking all in and make sure everyone, knows that I'm thinking about you. I love, it's a good excuse to call people and say, I love you. You
Yeah, yeah,
know? Hmm.
totally. Well, for me, today's Valentine's Day, a little husband and wife.
Hey, listen, PG 13.
Hey, working baby number two, I say.
Well, I want
Perfect day.
I want that boy. I have two girls. I really you gotta help a sister out. I want that boy.
We both want that boy.
Please go for it.
Yes, and with Elizabeth, well, she's home during the day, so I'm gonna enjoy her until her dad comes home and we enjoy each other as a family.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful day. I love, like you just said, it's just different dynamics as in single, married, and having children. It's like how you celebrate. It's like wow, because I'm like Elizabeth love is just like so different. It's just so breathtaking and so innocent, and her dad love is just so different. It's just so like oh yes. So
Oh, yeah.
definitely different strands of love.
Yes, there are. And friendship love, I told you lately I love you, Michelle. I love
Oh,
you.
I love you.
Seriously, I haven't told you that before. But that's the thing. We expect people to
To
just
know.
know that we love them. Sometimes
Yeah,
take the time out to express that love. And we were talking about love languages this morning,
we
right?
were. Yes.
And just knowing how a person is, how someone experiences love and how they want to be acknowledged and have that love displayed to them. It's so vast. Can you remember what the love languages are?
Acts of services,
Uh-huh.
physical touch,
Uh-huh.
um, quality time, I think,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Words of affirmation.
words of affirmation, and something about money spending.
Yeah, like you're right,
Gifts and services.
gifts, right,
Yes, yes,
right.
gifts.
But we were talking about briefly, apart from having those five love languages, how a person wants to have love expressed to them, like, does it really matter, or how much does it matter if a
Yeah,
person really loves you but doesn't express that love to you in a
yeah.
way that you per se, hey,
Really?
what if you love gifts, but your partner doesn't make that much money and can't give you the gifts, or maybe they can but not
Make it.
as often, huh?
He can make stuff. You can make a nice gift.
He's been working for 10 hours a day. He's gonna come home and do arts and crafts. No, seriously, what
Does
happened?
he want that at the end of the night? You better make that
Mm,
arts and crafts.
no,
Make
serious.
it a group project with Elizabeth.
That, no, that's true. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. So if you don't get those things or those, what are you? Give me an example of one of yours, for example.
My love
Love
language,
language. Mm-hmm.
acts of services. I'm
Okay.
big on that. Like I want to see that you do stuff for me. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be all the time, but even if you just take the garbage out, make my work a little easier, or give Elizabeth a bath, make my work a little easier. That makes me happy.
So your husband bathes your daughter, and you walk around like, ooh, sugar.
Girl, you don't have to ask. I'm like, ready?
That's too funny. So right away, like bells go off, right?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God.
Wash the dishes, cook, whatever it is,
Okay, Michelle's
just to
husband
make
paid.
it easier for me. Yes.
So during the time that you're not okay, so during that time when he's not doing those things per se, like how do you, what does that do for you or to you when you're not receiving those particular things within that time frame?
Well, we have a way of telling each other, like, if I'm not doing something that you don't like, something, for example, if he's not doing those things, I'm saying to him, hey, you slacking out. Just the same way, like, if I'm not doing what he's asking of me, he said to me, hey, you slacking out. It's time for you to reel back in. Get in the car, do what you got to do. We hold each other accountable because you have to in a relationship, whether it's marriage or friendship. So, yes.
That's true. Well, that's awesome. That communication is definitely key in letting
Yeah.
the person know what your needs are, but then also being reasonable where you don't take it too personal and feel like, oh, he doesn't love me
He
because
doesn't love
he
me.
takes
Yeah.
garbage out, and that just means,
Had those moments like
gosh,
we've been together for like 13 years this year, so it's like we've had moments where I'm like, because I'm big on cards, and
yeah.
I'm like, he didn't buy me a card. I had a whole meltdown, Stacey. I had a whole meltdown because like it was like the first or second year of our relationship. I had a whole meltdown because he didn't get me a card. I'm like, I said it countless times, I love cards. He don't love me because he didn't get a card.
Wow,
Meanwhile, the man baked me a whole cake,
look at
but
that.
I did not get a card.
Acts of service. You didn't get your gift, but you got an act of service.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a but.
I'm like, you could have made a card too. He's like, but Michelle, I
Oh,
baked a cake.
right. I think I remember that story actually. I think I remember that story. No, but
Yeah. I think it was the
seriously,
first or second year into our relationship. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
no, but it's definitely important to see the big picture overall.
Yes. Yeah.
And for me as a single woman, unmarried woman, I should say, um, it's very important to find ways to cater to yourself.
Yeah.
And self love does not necessarily mean buying yourself a pair of heels or a bag, or in my case, my flowers, right? Listen, I bought myself some flowers. I love flowers, that's my thing.
Yeah.
So I will definitely not wait to get it from someone. And I think whatever season you're in, even if you don't have romance, you can still have love.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. I have
Yeah.
a partner to experience romance. But as a single person, unmarried person, it's okay to listen to, some good music, buy yourself some flowers, but also take the time out to say, hey, what do I love about myself? What
Yeah.
makes me me? What makes me unique? What do people see that they appreciate about myself that I don't even take the time out to really
Right.
acknowledge and appreciate about myself? Because sometimes we just get so caught up in other people that we neglect ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
take time out to say, hey, God made you special. Like you may not have everything that you want. You may not look physically, have every attribute, physical, but you're
Yeah.
still beautiful, you're still valued.
Yeah.
And even if I don't hear it from somebody, I can say, hey, you know I did a kind thing today. Thank you, God, for allowing. Always God first. It's not to be egotistical or have a swell head about, hey, I can do this, but it's still fine to really acknowledge that you're valuable, you have value, and you can add value even as a single person.
Yeah. I remember in my single days, I used to go out and do stuff for myself. Like I never waited. I would go to dinner by myself. I would travel by myself, which I miss doing. But I used to do massages, nails, and all those things. And even being unmarried or single, however you want to put it, some people put single or unmarried,
Yeah.
you can still date yourself. I
Yeah.
remember this song, Tori Kelly, Dear Future Me. Like I used to listen to that song all the time. Like I love it. I love the fact that it tells you about what you're gonna do. You know, you happy right now. I'm gonna wait till I get my husband, but in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy me. I'm
That,
gonna explore. The world has a lot to offer. I don't need to have someone there. It's amazing someone there to enjoy it with, but
yeah.
I need that person in order to enjoy it. So it's
Yeah.
definitely something that I want to tell anyone who's listening to this, you don't have to be married to enjoy life. You don't have to have someone there to enjoy, although those things are important, those things are
Yeah.
necessary. And, it makes a difference because that's why God created Eve, because he realized that Adam cannot be by himself. So that's
Exactly.
why he created Eve.
Exactly.
But you can enjoy yourself. You can definitely enjoy yourself, and it's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing to go out and go to the movies, go to dinner,
Yeah.
or go travel, meet other people. It's great. So,
Beautiful. No, and definitely while looking for that, as well, having friends and going out there, I
yeah,
want to reiterate that taking time to get to know this person. Hey, write yourself a love letter. Like sit down, write yourself a
yeah,
love, and it's I'm saying it, and I'm wondering how many people will actually do it, but it's so therapeutic to
I have, and I still do. Yeah,
take that time and write that letter to yourself. Remind yourself that you are important. And I think once you start there with that premise, then your health, your spirituality, your
yeah,
friendship, the relationships, what you give to people, you'll be aware of what you have inside and what you can
yeah,
best share, right? And I think that we should definitely please take the time to check in on yourself. Like,
yeah,
how do I feel? Like, what do I want to fix? What are the different goals that I have that I want to aspire, to? And
yeah.
time and love on yourself outwardly. If you want to buy some new lip gloss, if you want to buy yourself a cake, if you want to buy yourself a slice of cake, sorry, people. Um,
We have a lot of stories about buying lip gloss ourselves.
Michelle, the number of lip glosses, I can't even talk about it right now. But and I used to use that as an excuse for self-love, because sometimes it's so easy to wrap your actual emotions and your vulnerabilities, how you truly feel, by
Yeah,
bandage over with, by buying things,
yeah,
and that's okay to buy things, but to really understand, if you hurt, if you feeling lonely, figure out really meaningful ways to remedy that feeling. Know what that feeling is, identify it, and
yeah,
don't just do like I did and just buy a whole bunch of, lip gloss, or stuff myself with like an extra slice of cake. Those are bandages. That's not really self love or self care. So take the time and cater to your soul. That's very important.
yeah. Even as married women, I encourage you to spend some time with yourself, spend some time with your husband. And if you have children like I do, I have Elizabeth, do not neglect your marriage. Have that time carved out for your child and have that time carved out for your spouse because he needs time too. It's not about the child or the children. It's about both of you because before those children or child came around, it
Yeah.
was just the two of you. So carve out some time. Have some fun with your spouse. Do date night. If you can't go out like how I don't usually have a babysitter, do
Yeah.
date night at home.
Yeah.
Create that atmosphere. That was gonna enhance the relationship and spice and all this kind of, I had to learn that because I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I'm like, wait, I can do it at home. Because we don't have a babysitter, I don't have to wait. And that's the thing, sometimes you feel like you have to wait for someone else to do it. You create that thing. Sometimes my husband is tired because he works a lot sometimes. So sometimes he's tired. So sometimes I'm like, you know what? Instead of you doing it, I'll do it. So take the initiative to just do it instead of waiting for him to do it. And vice versa. Don't always wait for the person to do whatever you think that should be done. Why can't you do it? And
Exactly.
that person's gonna catch on
Mhm.
one day.
One day, right? And I add to that too, because I'm pretty sure, even as a married woman and a mom, you still need some time to yourself for
Yeah.
self love and that self care. You
Yeah.
know, wherever you are, like how, if you need to pour into
I
people
feel guilty oftentimes.
yourself, say
I
again?
feel guilty oftentimes about that. Like, wanting to take some time for myself because I'm
Yeah.
like, but they need me, and I want to go out somewhere. But I'm like, but if I go here, I'm leaving Elizabeth or I'm leaving Ham. I'm
Mm,
like, that's the time I could spend it together. But I'm like, but I need that time
you
for
do.
myself so I can be a better mom, better wife. But I'm slowly learning that I need to just like, it's okay to go outside, even if it's like to the store
Mm, of
and get
course.
something. But I can come back in. My mind's free. The walk is good, and fresh air is good. So
Mm,
yeah, definitely learn self love and self care as a spouse.
yeah, it's rejuvenating for yourself, and then you can come back afresh and also deal with your family renewed, you know.
Yes.
Michelle, I'm looking at the time here and I'm getting worried about how long we're going. So, do you have a closing thought?
um, Wives, the bed is undefiled.
Ooh,
Have fun with your spouse. Since Valentine's Day,
yeah,
have fun with your
definitely.
spouse. Get some lingerie. There are different stores. You can go to Adore Me. You can go to Fetch It. Whatever store you like. Whatever your husband likes. Sometimes he doesn't like lingerie. Sometimes he just like
It's
as you're
just
born. Whatever it
hot in
is.
the conversation.
Have
Go
fun
on.
with your spouse.
Yeah.
And don't forget that before there's children, before there was anyone else, he's there. So have fun with him.
Yes. And taking it back to God always. I know sometimes, this is the last bit of the conversation, but I always want to encourage us to bring it back to
Yeah.
Him first and foremost. Whatever stage you're in, spending time alone with God, meditating on His Word. I mean, there's nothing more precious than peace. You understand? And knowing who you are in God. I think
Yeah.
that's bigger than any celebration that you can have on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. So spend that time with him. Make sure that you're refreshed, you're renewed in him, and then you can also pour into others, as I mentioned earlier. And of course, go listen to some Celine Dion or Michael Bolton, or and buy yourself some flowers and eat some cake. I mean,
Yes.
cake. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You're a cake. So no more Oreos. Don't like Oreos anymore.
Oreos has drugs in it, so no. It's so good. It's so no. I disclaimer. It's addictive. And listen, self love. I have to stay away from it because the amount that I would eat. Listen, the discipline is not there with that one, so I just have to like leave it alone.
Let it go.
Cake has got to be there too, honestly.
Well, guys, we're so grateful for you. We're so
Yeah.
thankful that you guys decided to come and join the conversation. You can like, share, subscribe to the video. Also, tell us what your Valentine's Day look like and what
Ooh,
you have
yes.
planned. We would like to
Story.
hear.
I want to hear the story.
Until next time, do have a great day.
Thank
Bye. We love
you.
you.
Bye.